Whew, what a ride. The last 24 hours have been absolutely wild. I mean, if you were part of this flush and you weren't trading spot, if you were trading leverage and those type of things, you would have got absolutely obliterated. I got smashed on so many of these trades. So today we're going to look at where these things hit some of these big tokens that we were playing in yesterday. And then we're looking at AI stuff. These AI tokens are flying. There's an NVIDIA conference coming. There's so much bullish things going on for AI tokens. I've got entries for you guys. I've got ideas for these guys, and I've got two smaller cap plays for you in the AI space. So we got a lot to talk about here today, guys. Also, updates, Curve I've got for you. I've got Aave as well. So much happening here. Let me know how you're feeling in the poll. I put a poll in the chat there. Let me know how you're feeling in the chats. Let me know how you're feeling in the polls. Let's get into this. I mean, there was some wild shit that went down yesterday. I mean, it's like, it gives you those moments where you like, can you get anything more crypto than a 30% dump on Solana and a 30% pump immediately afterwards? It's like shit coinery of the highest order that we had to deal with yesterday. And you know what? If you got stopped out, if you got smashed, you actually didn't do anything wrong. Just crypto did you. And that's the nature of the game. So we're playing bull market games here. And now, for those of you that didn't learn the lesson last Wednesday with a flush out 15%, Saturday with a 15% flush out, and then again today yesterday with a 30% flush out, now you know the lesson. Okay, bull market vibes here. If leverage trading is your only strategy, you're going to come short at the end. We use leverage trading to make short-term moves, grab some profits, stick it in our margin position, stick it in our spots, and all those types of things. So now it's not too late to change your game plan. If you are only trading leverage, remember, guys, get spot, get margin plays. We're talking 3x type margin plays. These type of things can generally survive some kind of pullback. The leverage trade, you go in, you smash it, you make the cash. We get those entries and then you exit and you use those profits, because these guys can come for you, and they come for you hard and they will smash you. And I got smashed as well yesterday. The whole team got smashed. We all felt the pain. No one's alone here. And it's one of those things. It's the nature of a bull market. And the sooner you guys understand that this is bull market things, then the quicker we're going to learn, and things are going to get easier for you guys. So all is not lost. Let me know how you're feeling in the chats. I was feeling very irritated yesterday, but today's a new day, new market, new trades, new setups, and we're going to smash so many things here. So let me know what you guys are thinking in the chats. I can see the comments are coming through here. And 𝗬𝗓𝗘𝗘 says the beard is on point. Well, I'm hoping the beard is on point. We spend so much time on this beard, getting it right for you guys. Okay, so let's see how you guys are doing in the poll here. I did put a little poll here in the chats. I just want to see how you're feeling. I want to see the sentiment here with what you guys are thinking. And I just want to get a vibe here. So 83% are still bullish. Okay, I love you guys. I mean, this is great. And only 12% said fuck crypto. Well, I must tell you, I was saying fuck crypto yesterday while I watched my Solana position get absolutely rinsed out. I had a guard mode entry on Sol. I was at about 110, 111 on my Sol entry, and they came for me. And there was nothing I could do. They cleaned me out on that Sol position that I thought I was sending to about $200. So $200. So we've actually reloaded now with Sol. And you know what? We keep soldiering on. We watch our big levels, and we make sure along the way that we're going to take some profits. Okay, guys, let's get into the juice, because these AI tokens are absolutely ripping, and I don't want you guys to miss out on anything. So let's just try and pick up on one of these AI tokens quickly, just to give you an idea as to what you guys are in for today. This is Render right now. Breaking a trend. Look at the size of this recovery that they've given us here. I mean, this was a massive move here from Render. 39% recovery in 3 8-hour candles. I mean, this is absolutely insane. This is so crypto, isn't it? So right now, Render is pushing massive areas here for us, and the bulls are looking The bulls are looking for entries here. The bulls are licking their lips, thinking we're going to get an opportunity now. So the basic idea at the moment, and we're going to get more into it just now, there's a big AI narrative over the next couple of weeks that's going to play out. So the guys are just trying to grab AI tokens everywhere. Everyone's getting excited. Uncle Run is talking about AI at the moment, and people are getting very bullish on Render and all these AI tokens. So what do we need to do? Well, number one, we need to get an entry, if you don't have one already, onto some of these AI tokens. So one of the plays is Render. One of the must entries that we need to get hold of here is going to be Render. So bulls, you know what you need to do. If you've been watching me long enough, you can see we've got a nice big resistance zone here for Render. Right now, we are pushing into resistance. What does this tell us? This tells us often we can get a rejection that could give us some kind of bullish entries, or if it's going to blow through this area, we are going to be looking for entries on any pullback on confirmation of support. So this is really the bull vibe right now. We are pushing into resistance. So we just want to pop this area. We want to take out some of those shorts and the stops that are sitting up there, and then just make sure that we have support here on Render at around about 8 is where we need to see. We just want to confirm that we've got support there, and then we can start looking at longs if we do blow this resistance area. If we do pull back, well, it's a very simple plan here, and I'm going to show you how beautifully it works on some of these other tokens that I've been getting ready for you guys. But if we reject here and we start pulling back, we've got to assume that Render is going to stay bullish. There's multiple reasons why it should stay bullish, and not just on the chart, but what we're going to do is we're going to identify these pullback areas where we can start grabbing little entries here on Render if we're going to be bullish for this AI narrative over the next week or two. So this is what we're going to be looking at. I just want to highlight these pullback areas. Sorry, my Fibonomics was letting me go there for a second. Okay, so there we are. These are key areas that you're going to be looking for to start nibbling at some positions here on Render. So if we do get this pullback, these are your zones that you are watching. Number one, 7.7. That is a potential pullback zone. That's a potential bounce zone on any weakness here on that rejection. So look out there. 7.7 is where you want to be. And then I've got this hot 382 here at 7.34, and it's tying in really nicely to some horizontals for us. So two hot zones here, 7.7 and 7.34. If you want a piece of Render, these are going to be your entries. If this thing's going to remain bullish, any pullbacks here on Render are for buying, and you want to identify your best potential pullback zones, and these are the ones that I can give you right now. And if this thing's going to blow through, then we're going to blow through this resistance area, but make sure that you get some kind of support. Even check into the 15-minute candles, make sure they got some kind of support building there for you, and then you can start nibbling at those positions. And while this thing is popping higher, what you can do, if you're using your fibs, you can keep this fib pool from the low, and as this high moves higher and higher up, you can drag your fib, and you're going to start getting tie-in really great areas where you'll be able to secure some supports and some confluence on some of your supports. So as this Render starts popping higher, look for these type of areas that that you're going to form, and jump into those zones. Okay, we've got stacks more AI for you, and I've got stacks of things to talk about. So let's just get right into some of these tweets as well. I mean, I found some hilarious things going on. So first things first, this is the heat map. So for those of you that don't know what this basically tells us the funding rates. And when it's orange, okay, basically it tells us things are getting dangerous. Funding rates are going up, and it's just getting very frothy out there. So the light green on this chart is always good. You can see there's a list of tokens here on the left. BTC, ETH, Sol, you can look down the list. And the thick orange was where we were yesterday. And you can see how frothy the market was. And what happened? They flushed everyone out. They reset these funding rates, and now we're back to green. So what does this tell us? This tells us that the hard work has been done, the flush out has been done, and now things could potentially start churning a bit more, provided these funding rates don't pop up and everyone apes in again immediately and turns into savages. So this is a nice little thing to have, this funding rate heat map. You can grab it on CoinGlass. Keep your eyes on this. Look how long this orange band lasted here of frothiness, and eventually they had to come for us. They tested us last Wednesday and it didn't work. They tested us on Saturday and it did nothing to the degen. So what did they do last night? They gave us 30% and they reset this whole thing and cleaned out the crypto market. So potentially, you know, we could be churning a little bit higher here. And now here's a nice little tweet. This guy Horn Hairs, he says, "My God, this is beautiful." He said the APR to hold Doge last night was 192%. Okay, so that is why. I mean, they needed this flush out in the market. Things were just getting too hot, and they had to clean it out. So they flushed all the retail out, I can assure you, none of the big players were selling any of their BTC. This was a complete leverage and retail flush out that we saw happening. And then I found some great tweets here. I mean, this is just the absolute best. If you ever feel bad about a trade, okay, so say you're feeling a bit down from yesterday, find the comfort that the WIF dev sold his allocation for 29K. Today it's worth 761 million. I mean, that is the deepest burn in history. I mean, sometimes for me, getting stopped out on a trade or getting liquidated or whatever the story feels a lot better than missing out on a trade or where I own something and it pumped. I mean, this has got to be one of the deepest burns in absolute history. His $760 million would have been his value there for his WIF tokens. And I just love this. I actually retweeted this today. I just thought it was so good. This picture on the left is when your son asks why he should stack Bitcoin, show him this picture, okay? And then when your daughter asks why she should stack Bitcoin, show her this picture. I'm just loving this. I'm not sure the kids
are safe based on these pictures, man.
I just love this picture. I thought this was such quality. And yeah, look, I mean, we can laugh, we can laugh. And then Miles, he had a good tweet. He said yesterday was the biggest crypto liquidation event in 6 months. Okay, so we were part of a massive event yesterday. We should be proud, that we participated in the flush out. And now, this the person who bought BTC at 69K for a quick flip yesterday. I mean, somebody had to buy the top. Somebody was buying the top yesterday. I don't know. Ray, did you buy the top?
Not at all.
Somebody bought BTC into resistance. Somebody must have.
Not me.
Okay, well that's exactly how he's feeling right now. Okay, BTC, where are we? What is going on? What's happening here? Let's look at our levels. So BTC on the 2 hour that I've got tracking here for you guys. So interesting pullbacks, interesting areas that we've got here to play with. Let's just take a look at this current 382. So right now, BTC has dipped into a nice horizontal and 382 for us. So not looking too bad in this area. I'm liking this 65K level, just under 65. You can see we've got some horizontals here. We've got some support. We've got some fib backing it up as well. So let's keep our eyes on this general area here. So call it 64,700 up to about 65K is a nice little support band that we can keep our eyes on here. And that's our main region we want to watch today. They've already tested us. They've dropped us into this area here, and one decent bounce so far. And what we can do is also just crack out a trend now. Okay, so you can see BTC is now in a potential downtrend, and that's what we're going to be watching. That is our new fun line that is in play. So we watch the fun line, we watch dominance at the same time, and we're going to track what's happening. So we might have a situation where we start bleeding down, and we're going to look at our next big level, and at any point in time we're going to crack that fun line, and then the party starts again, and things start getting excited. So get your trends in, get your key levels. So look out for reactions here at this region we've just spoken about, and then at the 618 at 63K. Let's look for a little bounce there. That's still a bullish bounce. Higher low looks good. And let's look for that area for a reaction. So 63K is another nice little zone. I see we got guys in the chats dropping AI tokens and all sorts of things. Yeah, these AI tokens, I think the next couple of weeks it's gonna be a bit of a mover. What's going on here? Let's see. Harvard says, as soon as the show starts, I start feeling more comfortable in the market. I'm so happy I can deliver that for you guys. And this is great. This is a great part about what I do. I just really enjoy helping everybody else, and I love these charts, obviously. And this brings me so much joy. Okay, here's BTC dominance on the weekly, and still rejecting at our weekly area, and that tells us for now altcoins are safe. Okay, as long as we've got our rejection in these areas, for now altcoins are okay. If we see dominance drifting lower, then we should be all right here. So that is what we're looking for. If dominance starts pumping, so for those that are new here, we watch BTC dominance as a guide to what it's going to do to these altcoins. So those that are new, if dominance is falling, it's generally kinder to the altcoins. And if BTC is flat and ranging and dominance is falling, these altcoins are going to start ripping for us, and that's what we want. And if dominance dominance is pumping, it's generally less kind to the altcoins. And, if dominance is pumping with BTC coming down, well, then it's rinse time and we start feeling that burn. So always keep one eye on dominance when you are trading and when you are watching your altcoins. Always just make sure you know what's going on with the dominance. Okay, let's go ETH, the big dog. Again, massive recovery. Look at this bounce. So what I wanted to show you guys today on a couple of these charts were these big areas that they flushed us out on, and these big zones where some of these tokens bounced. I mean, it's unreal how the timing and the areas that they hit every single time. They always just come into play. So ETH was incredible. I mean, this was a 236 bounce. We looked at this level yesterday and I was kind of, I was like, maybe it will come down to this 3.2, but I didn't actually mean it. I wasn't expecting a 30% dump show on some of these altcoins. So my main area for ETH yesterday, and it still remains the same, 3,400 to 3,500 is my support marker for ETH that I'm watching. This freak accident yesterday, we can't take it too seriously because of the size of the move, but we did get that perfect 236 reaction on ETH. So that is still a very bullish fib, obviously the 236, and that's a pull from the absolute lows to the highs. And you can see how they pinged that thing to perfection. It's almost like the bots turn on exactly when we hit these fib levels. And I'm going to show you some of these other charts here. Number one, AVAX. Look at this thing. I mean, this was a massive sell-off here, and look what they came and pinged. They pinged the 618. They pinged the 50-day moving average. I mean, are these guys watching my show? Like, how do they know that they need to bounce it off a 618 and a 50-day MA? Let me know what the plan is there. I mean, how do these guys know? So here it is, AVAX. Look at the size of this bounce and look at the size of this dump. So yesterday at our highs, we pulled back 21%. And the size of the recovery we've seen on AVAX and Curve today has been insanity, 28%. So that is a big move in our Curve, which we're watching. What do I want to see next? What I want to see next for AVAX? Well, now we're breaking through this nice horizontal resistance area, and there is another move coming. But we do need to confirm some support here at this region. So let's keep our eyes on 116. Let's see what happens at 116 here for AVAX. If we can secure some kind of support in this region, we could be looking for our next leg up and our next move to the 129 region. So let's see if we get something along these lines, and then we can start pushing AVAX a little bit higher. So I'm looking for 129. I'm still sitting in an AVAX long at the moment, and I barely survived that. My entry was something like 91 or something, my average entry. It was absolutely terrifying watching that take my trade that was high in profit and send it down to practically negative. It was the squeaky bum time on epic proportions that I had yesterday, but luckily it bounced and we are still good and cooking. So watching 116 for AVAX. The first target here is 129, and then there are bigger things here for AVAX. So are people interested in AVAX, things like that? We do have some bigger levels that I'm watching. So I have a little bit of conviction on this guy moving, as long as everything starts stabilizing and ETH keeps its strength and things like that. I'm still looking at AVAX at about 160 is a nice little area there that we could be pushing through. So keep your eyes on AVAX. Then Curve is another one, a big banger here. And through that pullback yesterday, check at this. Yesterday, where was our fib? Our fib was around about this, just below here. But they sent it back last night, 382. Perfect bounce on a 382 in that massive dump. They hit us, and now they've sent it straight back up. So what I'm going to say here, Curve traders, again, I'm still bullish on Curve. I think there's more in the tank for Curve, and you can see it's been showing a lot of strength in the last couple of weeks. So Curve traders, big supports that you want to watch right now is this weekly level at 70. So 0.7 is your weekly support that you want to hold. You want to watch that zone and then expect a reaction at 88. Okay, so if Curve keeps pumping, you can see I've got a giant weekly resistance band here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 touches on a weekly candle there. So that is going to give us some kind of rejection on Curve. But if we are bullish, that should give us a nice rejection that we can buy at a bullish level. And we're going to look for 382s. We're going to look for a 236 fib when we do reject on that area. And hopefully it's going to tie in at this 0.7. And that should offer us some more ammo here for Curve. And then we can start sending it higher. We do have some big targets. So my plan here for Curve from the support level is still about another 120 odd % that I have in mind here. I see IX says DYM is popping. Okay, well, that is good news. There's bullish news on DYM. We're going to tell you guys about it just now. I know Simon whispered in my ear that DYM started their airdrops.
We've got potentially 6 coming now, yeah. First one was announced this week. We're underway. It's all the info's in the Sniper Club. And there's potentially another 5 after that already booked in. So yeah.
Okay. Well, let's skip to DYM then quickly. Okay. So Sniper Club members, you got the signal today in Sniper Club. There were multiple reasons why I like this DYM trade, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it now. But it wasn't a nice little entry box. DYM bullish news, as you can hear. Chaos. I pulled him out of the cage. Okay. I let them out one at a time, and he's breathing now. And DYM is now potentially a trending narrative, I would say, Simon.
Absolutely. It's going to hopefully pull off a Celestia.
Celestia, okay. Celestia did well for us. Okay, so here's the signal that went out on Sniper Club. The support I'm watching is 5.6. Okay, this is my exit zone. This is my support region. Why is that my support region? Well, multiple reasons. Number one, I've got a 618 there. And number two, I've got horizontals. And number three, Easy Algo came to the party again today. Okay, I've been using this a lot, Simon. Have you been using more Easy Algo?
I'm trying. It's not the easiest thing to get my head around. I'm still working with Lux, but I'm getting there. I'm getting some help from the
I use Lux and Easy Algo. I keep it very simple.
Good
tight lines, pump. Loose lines, less pump. That's basically how it works. Keep it as simple as that. And so here's DYM dipped into our weekly pivot, which was so tight that you could hardly see it. So here it is, the weekly pivot, the yellows. Okay, here's our daily pivot. Look how it bounced off this daily pivot there. Okay, so nice little reaction off the daily pivot, all in our entry box, all tying in with fibs and trends and all sorts of things like that. So that is a signal that we gave off on Sniper Club today, looking for bigger things on DYM. And if you guys are interested, Sniper Club, there is a link here in the description for you. And if you don't know what it is, well, it's basically the sniper team. It's me and Sheldon and the crew. It's Chaos that you know. It's DJ and David you met. You know Bruce the legend as well. We're all in there banging out all sorts of things, from airdrops to signals to charts and ideas. And I mean, it never ends. Actually, there's so much there. But there is a link in the description if you guys are interested. You want to try it out, give us a shout and go take a look and see what we've got going on there. So that is the dime setup, and targets I'm looking for dime. Oh, I'm gonna find it. There it is. Targets I'm looking for dime. First target we're looking at 6.7, and then the next one around about 7.2. So let's get through this current resistance zone. And Sniper Club members, if you are watching now, you could possibly raise your stop to just under this weekly pivot now that we have bounced. So you can actually de-risk a little bit here by raising your stop to around about 5.8. That sort of level. You can just bring it up a touch there, and provided we are going to hold that weekly, obviously. Okay, sorry. Let's jump on to the next one. Simon, are you happy sitting there watching the show?
Of course. I'm just saying, DYM is currently sitting in an amazing order block as we speak, and it keeps negating it going to the next one. It's literally on the verge of going. Literally.
Okay, well, let's keep one eyeball on it as we go. Yeah. Okay, so let's deal with. Okay, we've dealt with Curve. Let's deal with Sol, because Sol broke my fucking heart yesterday. I was very upset about this Solana thing. I watched it come down, take me out. Okay, what did it do? Where did they go? 618, 50-day MA, okay, and a nice juicy horizontal. Okay, so guys, get these things on your charts. Okay, I do these charts every day in the Sniper Club. I was not expecting a 30% pullback on Solana, not gonna lie, but these are fib pools and all these types of things that you can prep on your own charts at home. So when we're getting a flush out, and you can see when we're getting a flush out, the candles start talking a bit differently, and that BTC starts looking disgusting, and then it's coming. And you can identify these hot zones and these big areas for some of these tokens where you can get your stink bids and where you can get these reactions on these flush outs. So you'll see if you go through your charts, there's so much tie-in right now with big horizontals, big weeklies, 618s, 50-day MAs, all these types of things. And they always seem to hit the same areas. So right now, what am I looking for on Sol? Sol, quite a simple play, really simple play here. Sol, it's reclaimed, the support that we lost. So yesterday we had this nice flag, we had that breakout, and then they came to kill us. Okay, and partly I would assume this 30% was part of the FTX sell wall that they had for Sol at 140. So maybe these assholes just went and market dumped us 30% there on Sol. It's possible. So right now, support I'm watching for Sol 125. Okay, that hasn't changed. We've reclaimed it now. We've bounced off it now. So Sol traders, 125 is a big support you want to watch. Next key level here, 118. That hasn't changed. That 118's been in play for a while now for us, and watch that 118. So if we do want to melt down a little bit more, I never want to say never in crypto, but I'd like to see a bounce at this 118 sort of worst case. I don't want to see much deeper than that. And look, what you can do, even you can actually pull a trend if you want to. You can grab a trend in there and just start looking at things like that if you really want to. But I like 118 and I like 125 as the hot zones for Sol. I'm back in Sol, and my average entry is now about 120. I had to start buying while this thing was pumping back up yesterday, so a bit of a mess, but that's where we are. 118, 125. So keep an eye on those levels, and upside targets for me for Sol, no changes. 160 to 170, nothing's changed there. The plan still remains the same. I'm looking for these 160s to 170 regions. Okay, then something like AVAX, no real change here other than a nice little pullback for AVAX onto a mega weekly level. Look at this weekly level here. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches here on the weekly for AVAX, and when they sent it down, they sent it straight down onto that weekly level to bounce. So AVAX, you've got strong support now, 35, and you've got strong support at 37. And I'm still waiting for the same play on AVAX. This is my same play that I'm looking for. I want to see the pop up. I want to see that rejection, and then we can buy that retest and start looking for some bigger things. So this is a nice weekly chart on AVAX, and I haven't changed my view here on where we need to be, but first things first, we've got to crack our next level. Remember, these trades go in stages, they go in phases. We reject in these areas, and then we come back and we test them, and we want to blow through this 50 level. Once we're comfortably through this 50 level on AVAX, just a reminder, a nice big play coming. And if you look at this compared to like Phantom and Dot and all of these others, it's actually been lagging a little bit on the weekly. So I'd like to see a 94% here for AVAX at some point. But first things first, let's break this weekly trend, and then we can start looking at buying some of these supports. Okay, next one. Before we get into the AIs, I'll just use this as an example for you guys. Another one. Look at this pullback on ADA, 382. 50-day moving average. What did they do? They tested a big weekly level. So mark these weekly levels on your charts. The higher the time frame, the better for you guys. So big fib pools from early days. Look at this. This ADA fib pool is from the 16th of October to the highs. What did they ping? The 382 with a massive bounce, tied in with a 50-day MA confluence and weekly level. So you know that if it's pulling back into that zone, there's a very, very strong chance that it's going to bounce in a strong area like that. So keep these fibs on your charts, keep these levels on your charts. So ADA traders, again, support, you're looking at 0.58. That's the low of the range. And the bulls, well, very simple play here. You're about to break into the next range, and the next range is going to offer some big moves, some big upside here, but we've got to get into that range first. So keep your eyes on this level at 1.2. That is a nice little target that we'll be looking for. So ADA, once it clears and breaks into this range, it's a 67%er that looks like is going to be making its way over time here if we can just remain a little bit bullish. So ADA traders, you're looking for that pop-up, then you want to confirm support, and then we're going to let it go. So watch these areas. You want 73 to become your support. When 73 is your support, that's probably going to be your trigger to jump into that big mover. Leon says, can we have CAS? Yes, we can, because Simon has prepped CAS. We can. In the back. Okay. Guys, yes, near is ripping. Okay, let's see. We got to tick on. I got so much for you guys here today. Okay, Phantom, I'm not going to dwell on this too much. No changes here. Big pullback just above the 382. Nothing's changed with Phantom. Your first line of support, 61, 62 is your support that you want to be watching for Phantom. So no changes after that flush out. Litecoin, just another example. I just wanted to show you guys again, 618. 50-day moving average. Look at this stuff. You can't make this shit up. And get these things on your charts. Get the big pools on your charts, look where these areas tie in, and you will get your reactions on these flush outs. You always get that reaction. Whether it comes back, that's another discussion, but when you get a flush out, that first reaction, you always get some kind of bounce, and generally a very strong bounce off these areas. Okay, Gala, same story. Last one, 382 support. Look at that, 382 fib pool pinged on support, horizontal here. So 0.035, that's your support marker. Gala traders, you're in the middle of a big weekly range. So if you're looking for a trade here, I would say you need to wait till it gets a little bit lower for that move, or you're waiting till it gets a little bit higher for something along these lines, and you can try grab it when you are looking at, when we've broken that weekly level. So you want to pierce this 48.49 first if you're trading this on a weekly basis. So there's no trade for me right now on Gala on the weekly that I'm looking at. Okay, near traders, here we are. Here's the current near situation. Why is near pumping? Well, I'll tell you why near is pumping. The founder is appearing on the guest list at the NVIDIA conference. He's talking at the event. So now people are sniffing this near, and they're starting to decide that near is somehow going to be related to AI, and there's massive things coming for near. So that is the current narrative that you can see. So they're tying in near now to AI, and there's activity here. So what I want you guys to see here is near is now pumping into a little resistance area. So we're going to keep our eyes on this, but I'm expecting a little break here from near. So let's look for this pump. Let's look for this move into these horizontals, and then we just want to pop that area, and we've got a nice little range trade building here for near. So let's just take a look now on this weekly time frame. We're looking at about a 24% move from this region. How do we get there? Well, number one, let's just zoom in and just see the smaller picture, what is actually going on. How did this transpire? Well, we had a typical little trend break. So this is near on the 4 hour. What did I do? I banged out my trend in this region. Then we had a break of the trend, and I was looking for pullback zones. What did they give us? They gave us a bounce on a 236. Okay, so when you're looking for a move, when you're looking for a pullback, you pull your fibs from the low to the high. You look for your potential bullish retest zones. If a token's going to remain bullish, it's bouncing 236, 382, 618. Those are the areas that you're going to get your reactions. Those are the areas you're going to get your bounces. And look at that. I mean, it's to perfection, really. They broke up, came back, 236 horizontals, trend, retested, and now absolutely sent. So what I would say here for near, we are now pushing this resistance band that you know about. So what do you have to do if there are pullbacks? Well, you can take advantage of these pullbacks. You want to look at some horizontals now on the smaller time frame, where you can start nibbling at near, and just to try and get ahead of the game in case it's going to go and start pushing through to this next area. So let's clean this up. You want to find out, what is my ticket to move into that next range? What is my ticket to go to that 25% play that is potentially building on near? So the first thing you do is you pull your fib and you start looking for levels of confluence and levels where this thing can tie in. And you can see here, this 236 is now offering nice support here on a horizontal as well. So this looks like a nice little bullish pullback area for near if you get that opportunity. Your next bullish pullback area for near is just a little bit higher. So watching 4.78, watching 4.62. These are nice little zones. And then don't forget, the 382 is actually my favorite pullback zone on a bullish move, and that is at 4.4. Okay, so these are key levels you want to watch. If you want a piece of near, you've got to turn into a scalper, and you've got to start looking at these hot zones. So just to recap here, it's 4. What did we say? 4.8, 4.6, 4.43. These are all potential areas here where you can grab a little bit of near, which might give you a ticket to unlock that next range trade that is building at the moment. And that's about a 25% move. So that's the deal with near. And here's a nice little tweet. He says, Res Degen. He says, the problem with bear market survivors is that they think that everything is priced in. Every pump they think is going to be dumped on, every piece of information, they think it's late. The biggest NVIDIA AI conference, and you are selling your AI coins, okay? So this guy's disgusted that anyone wanted to sell AI tokens. And it's ridiculous. Look at this. Look at this largest AI companies by market cap. Simon, 8.9 trillion, okay? You're talking Microsoft, NVIDIA, all these things, okay?
Yeah.
What is the AI market cap in crypto? 21.
What is it? Oh.
21 billion. Okay.
We're so early.
Okay. Like, it's ridiculous. Okay, it's actually ridiculous how early we are. Okay, so you can see here, just looking at this type of information, you can see there's potential upside here. And old Brandon, this is Brandon on Twitter. He says Render is going to be the most hated rally. All of your favorite Twitter personalities will be talking about NVIDIA conference and AI for the next 2 weeks. That is true. Maybe I should not say anything about the AI conference on Twitter. But I mean, Render's got to be a play, surely. This guy's calling Render to 12. And what you're going to do, again, you know your ticket for Render. You know what needs to happen. We need a nice clean break here on this horizontal. We want to clear out this horizontal. So keep your eyes on this. Keep your eyes on Render. And the same way you're going to play near, you want to identify these pullback zones, these bullish pullback areas. If the market's going to remain bullish, and I believe it will be for this AI situation, you want to find your pullback zones for Render. So right now, you got to pull your fib to the high. There's your first pullback zone, 7.7. Your next pullback zone, 7.35. If it's going to stay bullish, you're getting a reaction on one or two of these areas here for your ticket to that move higher. And then upside, you're looking at if this thing pops again. Reminder, if it pops, you want a clean break here, and then your support. And then you can send that one higher. So just be patient. We might get that little pullback. It's allowed to breathe. Remember, Uncle Run was just talking about it on his show to 5 gazillion people. They might have bought a little bit of Render there. So let it breathe. Let it come back. You know, for us mere mortals, it will come back, and then we'll get some buys. Okay. Another AI token for you guys, a Singularity. Okay, same principle. If AI is going to pump, everyone's going to be grabbing AI tokens and all these types of things. And one of the ones that commonly spoken about is Singularity. That's AGIX. And this is AGIX on the 4 hour. I drew a little picture for you guys. And all these AI tokens are starting to look very similar. This was my first pullback zone I was watching. So what did I do? I pulled a fib from the low to the high. And at the time, it came back and it smashed our 236 fib. Bang, at 0.88. Okay, so you're watching now your first line of support for AGIX, 0.88. Okay, that's a nice little support area. If we do dip a little bit lower, another area you're looking for buys. Okay, and we are still bullish. If you get a pullback here onto this region, you're still bullish, 0.836. Okay, that area works as well. And then we've got our 618 tied in with some horizontals as well. Okay, we can't ignore these areas. So we know the market's a little bit wobbly at the moment. We know there's hype around AI. We know the factors that we're involved in. And let's play this. Let's say, okay, AI is bullish for the next week, the next 2 weeks. AI is bullish. These are our entries. These are the areas. We can buy these zones with confidence, if AI is going to stay bullish. So watch your areas, 0.88, 0.84, and then if you must, 0.76. I don't want to see that 0.76. I mean, that's offensive. We want to buy the 382 and the 236. So keep your eyes on this. I like Singularity. We know this thing can rip. And it's just, it's got to be part of your armory if you're trading AI. And as much as this 𝗘𝗏𝗘𝗘𝗧, here's a guy tweeting. He says Vitalik is a lot of things, but he's not exactly a gambler. And here's Vitalik at a BitTensor meetup. Okay, maybe he knows something. So
I'm looking at the chart as we speak for BitTensor, literally now. I can show you what I'm looking at after
as we speak as well.
There we go. Yeah, all-time high today again. Another one.
Yeah, another all-time high for. I mean, who sold it at 30?
Somebody was buying it.
Sold it at 30.
I was. I'm not going to name who it was. I'm not.
Well, I mean, I sold WIF at 0.52 and thought I was smart. So
I'm not.
Whatever.
I'm not selling this for a long time.
Okay, so here's BitTensor, a new all-time high today. Okay, obviously now we've got an AI narrative. We know this thing has been pumped and hyped and all these types of things. We understand that, but the market doesn't care about value as much as they care about hype and these things pumping and all these things. So first zone you're going to watch. I mean, I'm looking at it in this channel. Okay, it looks very interesting. So we know we've got a potential resistance area higher up, 750, that sort of region we're looking at, and support region we're watching 690, which is where we are right now. Okay, 690, and another nice bullish pullback area for us, 659. So for me, there's buys available there in these regions. And let's not forget, if things really turn to shit for some reason, we do have this rising trend. Okay, so if we really get desperados here, we'll be looking at some kind of buy on this rising trend. But right now, for me, I've been buying some of this Tao, and especially with this AI situation going on, and I don't want to miss out on any party here. So levels you're watching, here's the deal: 690, 660. Those are the best areas I like. What does it say on your chart? I'm guessing nothing too exciting. What does it say?
Bring me up. I'll show you what I'm looking at. I can't. Let me know when it's up because I can't see.
It's coming. There it is.
Cool, man. Okay, cool. So listen, I mean, at the end of the day, I've dropped it on the daily because I kind of just wanted to keep an eye on this uptrend. Obviously, we have been in an uptrend for a long time, basically. But I'm more interested in the local sort of price action. So the first alarm bell will be the breaking of this trend line. Obviously, we did have a bit of a nightmare yesterday, which we recovered, and that was absolutely fine. The thing that excites me with 𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗏, apart from the fact that I know a lot about it, and I've spent a lot of time, making people buy it, this is market cipher bit. Generally, this is a momentum wave. Look at this light blue line here. It kind of came in a bit, and now it's spreading out again. What we've got is this opening up. So this generally, see if you can see here, this light blue area, that's the worst straight line I've ever drawn in my life. Let me try again. Yeah. It's not working. It's because I'm zoomed in so much. But if you can just get a feel for it, it's getting wider, not narrower. When these things narrow off like here, this is when you kind of get some sort of consolidation. It's getting wider. When you get a wider move, so let's go back to this example, and if I just bring it up in proportion, it got wider there. We got a big move up. It's doing exactly the same thing as it did there, and it's just started. It was a sell signal there. We got a buy or a long signal, and now it's opening up. So what I'm kind of hoping is that, in line with the cash flow down here and the momentum wave on market cipher, that we might now see another push. I'd like to see this as a launch off this line, and to get our sort of move up towards the 1,000 mark, or 900s to 1,000. There's no reason it should stop yet.
Okay, send it. Okay, you guys have got the levels, and there's some confirmation from Chaos. Now here's another one. Okay, it ran a little bit early. I mean, this slot is a little bit tricky, I must say. I come on here, and sometimes either the market's dumping or it's already ripping. On this time slot. But Sniper Club members, we had a live session with Sniper Club members. Me and Sheldon did an exclusive live. We do that once a week with the team on a Wednesday, and we gave them this trade. So Ocean was a prep. Ocean was getting prepped, and it dipped into our little box. An exact example of what I've been trying to show you guys with some of these other tokens. We had our nice recovery bounce after that dump. Then we had our retest, and what did it do? It gave us a 382, it gave us a trend, and it gave us horizontal. And look, we've helped by the savage AI news, obviously, that's going on here. But nice little trend retest, nice little rocket off this 382. So what do we do now? I mean, this thing's moved. If guys that took this trade, they are at TP1. Okay, let's not worry about that now. So now we're breaking TP1, which is a resistance area. The reason was TP1, it's a resistance zone. You normally get some kind of reaction, and we've broken through. So what we can do now is start looking for our next level. The next stage of the trade moves into phase 2. So you want to mark your support levels. So Ocean traders, support you're looking for 1.05 down to about 1.04. Anywhere in that region, for me, looks like a nice little bullish buy zone. So any pullbacks into that zone is going to be support that you want to keep your eyes on. And then upside, you're going to go stage by stage. You can see what I've done here. We've got a resistance band here into the TP2 zone. So you can see that is already in play for TP2. So that's your next resistance area. And you're going to play the exact same game. So look for a rejection up here in these zones, and then always you want to just push up, confirm support, or pull back onto support, and those are your bullish buy zones for you. So let's clean this up. Let's try and get some fibs in here for you guys as well. Okay, so we're just going to pull our fib from that low to the high, and we want to just try and understand where our, say, 236 is now in this example, because things are so bullish right now. And, it's a little bit lower. So the 236 is sitting just under this wick. So what I would say is pullbacks. Okay, let's just confirm these pullbacks. 1.04 1.04 to 1.03. Okay, anywhere into that region on that 236 for me is a nice bullish juicy zone for ocean traders. So watch that for support. And again, it doesn't need to stop at TP3. It can continue. You know, we're at price discovery here once again. Okay, another AI token that's just getting sent to the moon. So, you know, we'll go step by step. But that TP3 is at the all-time highs, and you guys know what happens after all-time highs. I think Simon knows what happens after all-time highs on things like CAS. You know that feeling. Things tend to go paras.
Moon.
Paras. There's Ray.
Moon.
So Ray knows as well. Okay, Ray knows as well. Okay, let's see. Let's go to our next one. Okay, so here's Fetch. Bang.
Look,
okay.
Yeah, perfect timing, man. Look at that.
Okay,
Perfect
so
timing.
these AI tokens, they're waking up. It's just beautiful. Okay, so we had this set up brewing for you guys, and now Fetch is once again in price discovery. So let's just figure out how we're going to get you guys some levels to play with. Well, your target that you're going to be watching for Fetch, okay, the same way we found the first target. So Fetch traders, you're still looking for 3. As your upside target that you're going to be looking for. And on this bigger picture weekly chart, you can see your support area, your main weekly support that you're going to be watching is going to be round about the 618. It's going to be 1.9. Okay, so your upside target is 3. Your support on the weekly chart is 1.9, if you can work with that. And let's just zoom in and see sort of smaller time frames, what we can work with. And you can see this 1.9 actually ties in very nicely. Look at this. Nice little juicy area. Okay, so there's your 1.9 that you're going to be looking at. And there's your 382. Okay, so that's, I mean, that is amazing. Okay, so watch 1.9 as your main support for Fetch. Okay, remember the pumpage might not just continue forever. You're going to get a consolidation. You're going to get some kind of pullback, all these types of things. So you don't have to FOMO and buy these green candles. Just let it consolidate. If you need to dial in a little bit and just try and get a picture as to what's happening. But all I can give you now, best support 1.9, which ties in with that huge 618 support on the weekly as well. And then let's see where our 236 is sitting. Yeah, you could get something here. Okay, so areas you want to watch. Fetch 2.05. Okay, 2.05 potential buy zone. 1.9 potential buy zone for Fetch. Okay, so eyes on these guys. Bang and bang. These two areas are super bullish zones. Nothing wrong with a retest, nothing wrong with a pullback. And that's where you're going to be cooking there. Okay.
The 4 hour, the 8 hour, and the 12 hour bands are all expanding, and I've got a green spot as well. So it looks good. It does look good.
Okay,
looks
it's
good.
a mover.
We've got a move coming. Yeah.
Okay. Now I've got 2 smaller projects. We're talking AI narratives and things like that. And one of our partners is a project called Palm that I wanted to show you guys about. So yesterday I showed you Agent X. It was a Telegram bot and doing all these types of things. Here's another one for you. Slightly smaller market cap. I mean, it's not tiny by any means. I think it's about 60 or 80 million. We're going to check now. But check these guys out. Okay. So a multi-platform Palm AI chatbot. They got all sorts of partnerships and all sorts of things going on right now. So you can check out their website, palmai.tech, and they partnered here with Google AI, Google Cloud, OX Protocol, Scale. You guys know that Scale. It's one of the trades we called on the show. And they've recently partnered with NVIDIA as well. So there's action happening there. And if you're tied in with NVIDIA and you AI and all these types of things, you know there's pumpage, you know there's sentiment and things like that going on. So take a look at this Palm. Here's the market cap. It's 78 million. Okay, so a smaller one. It's by no means a render yet or anything like that. And so take a look at that. I've been playing around with the chart, looking for some areas for you guys as well. And it's recently listed on MEXC. Okay, so if you're interested in trading Palm, you can grab it on MEXC. There should be a link in the description under the show for MEXC. Let's see if it's here. Otherwise, we'll get them to put it in for you. There it is. There's your MEXC link. In fact, this is my entire shopping list here, guys. All the fun and action happens here in this document under the show. So take a look there. MEXC, you can trade it on MEXC over there. And And let's just look at the chart. Let's look at some of these levels. So we can see some big supports. Okay, our major zone that we're looking at here is the 618. Nice horizontal region we got to keep our eyes on. 618, that's our best zone. Okay, that's the dreamy zone if we do get that opportunity to buy. Other than that, you're looking at some kind of consolidation here, and you're going to play your hot zones, and your hot zones are the same ones that I've shown you for some of these other charts. It's your 236. You're looking for action there, and you're looking for action on that 382. So the levels you're looking at 1.02, 91, 78. These are all potential buy zones here for this palm anywhere in these areas. If we're going to stay bullish AI, these things are going to bounce in bullish zones, bullish pullbacks. What are bullish pullbacks? 236, 382, 618. They're all higher lows, and that should play out nicely. So eyes on this guy. Could be a little gem. And then another one I've got. This was called on Sniper Club. Have you heard of this thing?
Yeah, I've got this one, and I've got loads of palm. I got palm about 4 months ago. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Oh, really? Well, tell me a bit about the farm. Tell me what's going on.
It's just all I know is I went on to there's one of the other exchanges, 𝗔𝗥𝗘𝗘, and I bought it before this got listed on MEXC. Bought it months ago for about 30 cents, and I've just held this thing. And it's just found its way through the bull market, and I'm not planning to sell any AI tokens at least for 3 to 4 months at least, because I see there's a lot more price action. And the same for Netmind. They're all the same.
So this savage is sitting in Sniper Club, spitting out airdrop things and spitting out all these tokens. And also Rodolfo. We got Rodolfo in the Sniper Club, and he's doing a lot of research and things for us. And he dropped this one, Netmind, into the Sniper Club the other day. And it's been pumping and pumping and pumping. I think it was a good little find, this Netmind. Market cap 360. What are your thoughts on this one, Simon?
Exactly the same. Holding out. I've been in this one for months as well. The thing is, before all of these get to MEXC, they start off on these small tier C lister exchanges, and the trouble is they go broke. So you've got to be really careful, look after your tokens. You lose some and some go to the moon. But this is a great token. Same thing.
Okay, so look, it's recently listed here. No, this is Pancake Swap. I mean, this thing is not even on an exchange, this guy. So look, I would say this is, I mean, I wouldn't even know how to chart this other than give you some levels here, but this is Pancake Swap. I mean, where else do you buy this thing?
Literally, that's the dexes or something like 𝗔𝗥𝗘𝗘 or TradeOga, one of the older exchanges.
Okay, well, 10.2. There's your horizontal 10.2. That looks like a nice little buy zone for you guys on Netmind. So keep an eye on this area here. 10.2. You can see I've got some nice juicy horizontals here on the 8 hour. So if you get a dip into that zone, that's a potential buy area in that region over there. And then a little bit lower down, let's just add a little box here for you guys. You want to just try and attack some of these horizontals. Where you get some, you want to get confluence here, and you want to get multiple reactions on some of these horizontals. So the next one is 6.35. Okay, so big areas here, but could be a nice mover. So this was called, what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
I actually picked this up at 75 cents. I was just checking out. Coinex. Yeah, stupid.
You're a complete animal. Okay. Wow. Okay. So I've nailed my entire list. Give us CAS quickly, because we had a request for CAS. Give us CAS.
Definitely. You can. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm looking at. I'm looking at CAS and 𝗙𝗫𝗓. Which do you want, both or just one?
Give us both, but we need a speed version. Yeah. Okay.
Right. I'll do a speed one. Let's do CAS.
And then I'm going to get my CAS out as well. So when you're done, I'm going to look at mine.
Tell me when I'm on the screen.
Okay. Go.
Okay, cool.
Render is ripping. Sorry about that. Render is absolutely ripping.
Go back to that. That's fine. Go for it.
No, go.
Okay, cool.
Blowing that horizontal, guys.
Oh, nice. So what I'm looking at with Casper, let's keep it really quick. The 4, 8, and 12 hour, which is all slightly longer term, all show the same thing. We have got the same thing. The momentum wave has come down. A really accurate short played out. We're now down here. The red dot printed there. We've made our way down. Exactly the same on 𝗥𝗘𝗘𝗘. The RSI is coming down. We've had a red cash flow, which is absolutely perfect. It's married up. And now everything looks like it's finding a place that it wants to reverse. This thing's down at 12. You got this one, which is down at -76. Anything below -60 for me is a good turnaround point. And then what we've also got is we've got a lovely order block here, which we could very well maybe not even break into. We might bounce before that, but at this point, it looks like we're going to be kind of going from order block to order block. It would tie in perfectly with the entry is going to be somewhere between, let's just say, 14 cents and 14.3, 14.4, somewhere about this wick.
Okay, so you close. Yeah, okay, let me just show my chart. So yeah, your Lux algo is very close to what I'm looking at as well. So these are levels that I'm watching for cash, just using my regular TA. Now, I'm not using the indicators and things. So sometimes they give you different signals and different messages. But we've seen, you know, with some of these other tokens banging the 618, banging the 50-day MA. For me, that looks like a sexy zone. So anything around my first prize, okay, anything around 136 down to 132, that's my first prize. That's like where I get like a little bit excited. I might start drooling, like it might start like dripping. Yeah. Next level, I actually don't mind where it is now, 145. I don't mind it there. You know, as long as it's hanging around this area and making its way to this trend, I'm not too it's not the worst. So 144, 145, does that sound okay to you?
Yeah, you've got the stochastic open down the bottom there. Is that right? That looks really low.
Yeah,
looks really low.
No,
is it crossed as well? Yeah, look at that. It's making a cross, so it ties in perfectly.
Okay, so guys, here's your level of speculation. Okay, Uncle Dill's first prize down here. Okay, 1345. But I'm not discounting the fact that it could bounce off this current support region right here. So let's keep our eyes on this. 145, 146, anywhere in that region could be a potential area where you could start nibbling at some cash. But you've heard it from Chaos now. Lux Algo is telling us there's a reversal coming, and we are sitting on the horizontal, and we've got one more level left, and the stocks are also reset. So potentially a bounce coming on cash. Use that information, do with it what you will. But those are the potential levels. IX says render is not stopping soon. Whoa, this thing. Let's just see where it is.
After that, have you got time to show 𝗘𝗫𝗓? It's an absolute screamer.
Okay, guys, this render. If you want to climb in this thing, look under this candle. Look under this 8-hour candle support. 8. Okay, watch 8. As a potential support zone. If you want to get in here, use that loss of this candle low as your exit point if you're trading high leverage. Okay, 8, just above 8, 8.08. Okay, let's do 𝗘𝗫𝗓 quickly. We got 1 minute before I get killed.
Okay, cool. Right, so this to me is really, really exciting, right? We've got this horizontal, which has been playing out for quite some time. It's been recently respected to a nice level. We're literally just above that now. I've discounted a couple of the crazy wicks that we had. We've got this diagonal trend, which is making its way up. It's an uptrend. So there's the 2 points where they kind of meet somewhere in this region. We've got a previous short, which is now playing out. I'm expecting potentially, I don't know if you can see it there. Let me just move that real quick. There's an X, which is obviously a take profit point from the previous short. And what comes after a TP? Well, generally speaking, you get your short, you get your TP, and then you get a long print. So I'm kind of hoping that this plus the long signal means we're going to get somewhere in this circle, and it lines up perfectly with the increasing cash flow, the RSI, the momentum wave. Everything is telling me that there's a nice strong long to be had here. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
I actually looked at it today, and I was thinking it was looking a little bit interesting. So okay, we definitely agree. You know, there's something going on here with 𝗘𝗫𝗓. What was that entry level? So
listen, the three lines converge at kind of 384, but I mean realistically, it's more likely to be 392, something like that. 390, okay. Between 385 and 390, something like that. Yeah, that region.
Guys, I've got 2 more tokens for you. Okay, you guys have been screaming 𝗘𝗑𝗓𝗓 at me for fucking, I don't know. You know, since 𝗘𝗑𝗓𝗓 was worth nothing. Okay, here it is. Here's 𝗘𝗑𝗓𝗓. Okay,
hate it.
You guys, I hate it because I'm not in it. Okay?
Yeah, same.
And in a minute or two, I'm going to tell you what I am in. Okay, so here's 𝗘𝗑𝗓𝗓 on the 4-hour. Guys, I actually want to just commend you guys. You guys started in the chats about 𝗘𝗑𝗓𝗓 months ago. And I was like, what the fuck are these oaks on about? And I just wasn't like, I couldn't get my head around Vitalik's cat. It just wasn't making sense to me. And now, you know, with this meme stuff and spending so much time talking to Gustavo, our resident savage, This guy's I'm bringing him on my show on Friday. Okay. He's the guy who found Welsh for me. He's found a lot of things for us that are absolutely ripping. And I've invited him to join me on my show on Friday. So that's going to be a treat for you guys. And, well, let's just look at this. And then I'm going to show you the cat that I bought. Okay. And I'm not saying I'm not going to buy this 𝗕𝗓𝗓. I just don't own any 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓. But I know there's a potential listing and things coming for them as well on an exchange. So, you know, it looks like there's still going to be some pumpage coming on this thing. Let's just look at some interesting levels for you guys. Okay, so we've got a trend break. You can see what's going on here with these tokens. I mean, it's big selling. Whenever you get the pump, these guys are just exiting. Big sells, big sells. But at some point, these sells start drying up. And then you get the real community together that just hodls and they never want to sell and all that story that starts happening. And yeah, that's how these things play out. Resistance you want to watch. Okay, nice little area here. 44. This is resistance for 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓. Really what you want to do now, again, like if you're buying spot, it doesn't really make too much of a difference, especially if you're playing with small things here. You know, you're looking at support, you're looking at 32.80, and you know, if you want to really be strategic about this thing, you want to get that support first through this 4-hour resistance, because you can see it's resistance. Okay, so you can see you're buying into a rejection area, so they could sell it. So what it tells you is you might be able to buy it cheaper if it gets to a resistance point. Then you can trade resistance and support until it breaks. And you know, obviously we're in a bullish trending market, so potentially this resistance is going to break. But just keep an eye on that area. And then upside for 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓, I can't actually tell you, other than I know there's pumpage, and this thing might continue to rip. Yeah, it's I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I bought. Okay, 𝗙𝗘𝗘𝗘. Have you heard of 𝗙𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗘?
Yeah, this is another 𝗙𝗘𝗘𝗘 legendary move. Yep.
Okay, but I mean, to his credit, he called this thing to me when it was like a 600K market cap. Okay, it's now 4.7 million. Okay,
he's good. He is good.
He knows his shit. And you know what his conditions for a good meme coin are? It has to have been rugged once before. And that's it. So basically, they've got to dev it. It's got to get rugged. Then it gets like cult status or whatever the story is. And then these things pump. So that's the story behind this thing. 𝗙𝗘𝗘𝗘. It's a fucking cat on Luna. And they made the cat on Luna. And then they rugged it. And now it's got pumping. So
probably why Luna's pumping. Probably why Luna's pumping. Or has been pumping. But,
yeah. You know, I just, you know, if Gustavo tells me to buy a cat, I fucking buy the cat. He tells me to buy a dog, I buy the dog.
He made me buy a Redo, that dog on ton.
I bought that too.
Mate, have you looked at it? It's like 10x. Yeah.
I'm 6x on that thing.
I'm 10. So, yeah.
Well, listen to Uncle Gustavo. I'm bringing him on my show. Simon, thanks for hanging.
Amazing. Cheers.
Always fun. I'm bringing Gustavo onto my show on Friday. Plus, I've got 2 big Twitter names joining me as well. DJ and stuff. And I mean, we are so deep, like in this meme coin situation right now. So these guys are going to be perfect. And, you know, we can start talking about these memes. Let's try and like maturely deal with Bonk, Myro and these things, because as much as we hate it, that it's pumping so hard, we might be able to get some entries, and if there's a trade available, we can get a trade. So let's get these DGens on, and let's find some secrets from them as well, and make Friday a bit of a banger. So guys, don't forget Friday. Keep that in your diaries. We're going to cover a lot of shit. Okay, that was fun. You guys have got your levels. Let's hope this AI run just fucking makes all that money back that we lost in that flush out yesterday. That would be lovely. And see you tomorrow. We'll catch up on these AIs. If there's a narrative coming, we're going to get more entries. So if you're feeling FOMO, you haven't missed out, there'll be more entries tomorrow. Sniper Club guys, you'll get the chart updates tomorrow. You'll get ideas and all these things from me. So see you guys later. That was great.